Hi, Gabrielle.
Hello.
To meet you. And it is Gabrielle, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Oh, well, thank you. Oh, very special. It's really nice to meet you. Thank you for doing this. I know how kind of crazy it is. Um, so I appreciate your flexibility as well as your courage. It's not easy.
Thank you so much for giving your time to me. So I really
Oh,
appreciate that.
it's a pleasure. I love this and I love to teach. So we did speak a little bit before, and I just wanted to start with saying that. So normally, what we do, of course, is that the singer will sing through their aria, and then we start working. So if that sounds good with you, we can start.
Sounds great.
Great. What are you singing? And just tell me a little bit about yourself before you start.
I will be singing Porgi Amor from Le Nozze di Figaro. I am a artist at the Dallas Opera. I've been doing outreach for a few years.
Oh, I got you. It sounded like you were in a swimming pool, but that's okay.
Okay. All right. So, should I just go ahead and start?
Yeah, why not? Sure.
Okay. All right.
Ah, that's so beautiful.
Thank you.
That's really lovely. That's really, really lovely. I would say I heard like 98%. At one point we had a little like snafu thingamajigger, but that's totally fine.
Oh, no.
That's totally fine. But in general, how did that feel to you? Did that feel like I always like to ask, does that feel like a good representation of you as a singer? Because I know, again, these situations are so awkward and we get nervous and we get a little, so how did it feel to you?
I would say it felt good. I really tried to focus on the text and sort of the emotional intent, especially with Mozart. I tend to really get in my head because I have this like level of like it has to be perfect. It's Mozart, like. So at least that was not in the forefront of my mind as I sang that. So I feel like it was a win in that regard.
Yeah, well, I think it was more than just one win. That was very, very good. So great, fantastic. I really like the way you're producing sound, so that's really fun for me. So I always talk about breathing just because I think it's one of those kind of amazing things that takes years and years and years for for us to figure out. And it's something that we always kind of go back to, because it's one of the first things that comes and goes depending on, if we've taken time off or if we're sick or if, and it's that thing that we always end up going back to, in our coachings and lessons when we're trying to figure something out. It's like, oh, wait, that breath. Oh, yeah, that wasn't such a great breath. Right. So how do you think about breathing before I sort of give whatever thoughts I have on it?
Yeah, I think you're totally right. That is sort of the first thing that goes for me. If I'm a little bit nervous, it starts creeping up quite high. So I always have to just remind myself to keep it low, keep it full all the way. I try to do breathing exercises before to kind of like mellow out the anxiety beforehand, so I don't start off with my breath up here.
Right. That's a great idea. That's a fantastic idea. So I'll tell you a little bit kind of like how I think about it or what I do or some breathing exercises. I'll tell you what, while I'm doing this, are you able to put your computer or screen or whatever you're looking at a little higher so that you don't have to look down, just so for your own vocal comfort?
Yeah, I can stack some books on top of it or underneath.
Yeah, do as many as you want, because I think also just for your own comfort to not have to look down when you're singing particularly. Otherwise you can stare at whatever it is that's up in front of you. You don't have to look at me at all. Yeah. So while you do that, I'll talk a little bit about breathing.
Okay, great.
So I love to breathe through my nose. That's something I've probably said now to a lot of the people that I've been coaching, and I have, my coach and my teacher who have also sort of instilled this in me. I find it extremely grounding on a lot of levels. It is less drying for the voice, for the throat, because you're not gasping through an open mouth. It's less drying for your throat and for your mouth, which also, when you're nervous, one tends to get dry-mouthed. So it's helpful to breathe through your nose if that happens. I also find that if you're breathing through your nose, you can really release your lower back, sort of like your lumbar lower back area. And exercises that I like to do is I like to put my hands on my waist with my thumbs facing front like this.
Okay.
And I like to breathe into essentially where my middle fingers are on my lower back. They're sort of in the middle, kind of the smallest part of your waist. And if you inhale through your nose very slow and quietly, you can feel this sort of open and expansion at the back that opens to the side as well as sort of drops down. It's like your tailbone is dropping down to your heels. So do that a few times. Breathe through your nose and then exhale on an F consonant, using some strength to get the air out, and do a few cycles of those. Again. So a little stronger with that F. Good. Do you feel the lower back sort of expanding and you're able to release those lower back muscles?
Yes.
Okay, so that I would say is what you'd like to try and aim for all of those breaths that you're taking. Even if they're quick or short, you can still take them through your nose. It feels more like a vacuum. So once you've used your air up, there's nothing else for you to do except for to inhale, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like if you have nothing left, and everything just opens big, kind of down there and stable and strong. And then that same lovely steady inhalation of air is what your exhalation comes out next, right? Okay. So why don't we start, and why don't you go ahead and sing, sing that first phrase and think about that breath. And then just go with the air, por amor. Oops, sorry. Good. How does it feel?
It felt good. Yeah. I stopped myself because I inhaled again through my mouth.
That's okay. That happens all the time. I start to see the singers, they'll breathe, they'll go, oh, damn it. You know, so like everybody catches themselves like really fast. It's very funny. Like, I don't really know why I'm here. I'm like, you got it, you're fine. Okay, that's really great. Do that again. As you're coming down, you're make sure that as you're saying your R, you're not closing your mouth too much.
Okay.
Or, you know, if you're thinking of a decrescendo, that it's not your mouth that's creating a decrescendo, it's that airflow that's creating the decrescendo. So try that again.
Okay.
Good. So even there, that's perfect. Right there at the very end. Qualche ristoro.
Yeah.
Keep the energy like really going until the end of that note, so that the security of your airflow doesn't waver. Like you can feel very confident with that. Do that again. Actually, do both. I'm going to add another thing to it because these are all things you can put into the whole aria, obviously. As you're singing por jamor, on that po, do something with it dynamically. Maybe let's for now do like a crescendo and a decrescendo, and make sure that that decrescendo is very well supported. So your jamor comes off as like a release. So you don't have to think about reaching for it or anything, which you're not doing. So this is just an added benefit for you. So por jamor. Let's try that.
Okay.
Good. How much of a decrescendo did you do?
I'm not sure.
It was there. I just want a little more, just for fun, even if it's slightly out of context rhythmically, just so you can feel a real decrescendo there.
Okay.
Try to play. Ah, that was nice. Did you like that?
It was different. Yeah.
Did it feel good to sing?
Yeah, it did feel good. Yeah.
That's always my key. For me, it's always my goal. It's just like, as long as it feels good. Okay, so now see if you can do that crescendo decrescendo within sort of the rhythmic structure.
Okay.
Good. And now as you go on, qualche ristoro, same idea on that storo. So that is just like this release into that area. Okay. Good. I think you did it on the qualche, which is a very good thing to do it there as well. And can you do it on the sto of ristoro?
Okay.
Both is great. Nice. How does that feel?
Yeah, it feels different. It's just a mental coordination. I feel like I gotta get used to the practice of doing it that way.
Doing that little decrescendo. Good. Okay, go on. Al mio duolo. And really have fun sort of with this idea of your dynamics, keeping this breath of yours consistent, right?
Okay.
Really consistent. Good. Have a lot of fun with this one. Sospir. Right? Try that one again. Did you do the decrescendo as well? I heard a wonderful crescendo. Did you do a decrescendo? I know it's tricky, but the notes are long enough.
I thought I did, but maybe I could do more.
Okay, try that again. Yeah. So you have these long notes, you can definitely do it, because just wait when I ask you to do it on a short note. It's gonna be like, ah! Be like, no! So, yes, oh, speed. Okay. Good, 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 good. Does it feel very connected to you when you're doing that decrescendo? Do you feel like the decrescendo is coming from your airflow, or is it coming from someplace else?
I think it might be coming from someplace else. I don't feel 100% engaged.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but
okay. As you do your IMIE, make sure that the open E of MIE is not too open. I don't hear that it is too open, but just in case, especially considering we lose quite a bit during the satellites and the things and the wugga wugga. Just make sure that the E is not too MIE. A lot of times if it's too far, kind of Americanized it's hard to keep kind of in that clean frontal position. So speed, right? Okay. Good breath through your nose. It's really good that you're doing that really, really well. Try that again. And as you're doing your crescendo, again, it's also coming from your air, right? It doesn't come from anything here. Okay. So. Yeah, that was better. How'd that feel?
That felt better.
Yeah, much better. Much better. How'd that vowel feel?
Much better. Yeah, I think I was widening it a little bit too much.
Sure. Sometimes it's easy, especially for us. I think the American kind of English is very right back here. So we all have to think very kind of Italian and get very you know. With that in mind, just do that whole first phrase again and really think of those bright kind of Italian vowels. I love the Italian bright ah. So porgia, right? That ah, more, and this sort of informs your more. Qualche, again, qualche, qualche, just more for qualche ristoro, right? Al mio duolo, a miei, right? Good.
If you don't mind, I'm gonna let this cat out of the room really quick. He is meowing.
That's so sweet. Can I see him? This is what all this. Oh, look at you.
This is actually, it's not my cat. It's my roommate's cat, but I take him on as my own a little bit.
What a
so I'm
face.
him out.
What a face. What a face. Amazing. Oh, and I have guys working outside my window. I mean, we are a pair today.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Well, I love it. It's fun. This is what this is about. So
right.
It's life. Oh my God. And of course they're like right here today. This can't be happening. All right. Well, as I always say, sing loud and sing pretty. Maybe
okay. Oh man. Okay. I got this.
Oh, it's good. It's good. That was so great. That was really, really, really great. How'd that feel?
It felt good. It felt very, very focused on it.
Yeah.
Technical things, yes.
That was really, really, really good. I wanted actually for you to do that very first line again. Your porgia more. As you're doing more, you're sort of letting gravity come down with you which is destabilizing your airflow. You know, it's like you're putting a little bit of weight, just a tiny bit of weight, and so it's kind of going like a little bit. So just do that first phrase again. That was really, I could hear and see the concentration about your crescendo, decrescendo. So that was excellent. That was good. That was good. Now go on with your little ah. That was very good. Go on. Nice. That's beautiful. How's that feel?
It feels lighter. Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I always, it's kind of what I always hear. I think when people feel like they're really sort of connected, it's almost like now, does it feel lighter or does it sound lighter too? Because those are two very different things.
Lighter.
It feels lighter, like less work lighter, or?
Yes, less work in the wrong places and more work in the right places.
That's good. Okay. That's excellent. Okay, great. Great, great, great. Okay, so we were just talking a little bit about a little more of that kind of bright Italian inner smile space moving into, well, really for the whole thing, but definitely moving into this next section. So can you go ahead and go, oh, mi rendi il mio tesoro. You can do the appoggiatura if you want. Tesoro, up to you. For now. Good, and that feels good?
Yes, I love that inner smile idea. It's really helpful.
It's wonderful. You sound so beautiful, so beautiful. Go on to the next phrase. And now have fun with it. Again, remember that kind of crescendo, decrescendo, even on those. So you sort of really feel like you're just, the air is just flowing steadily and peacefully out of you. Good, good. It might have been the connection. I wonder if you went a little too soft on the all, because there was a bit of a, like
I may have.
There was just like a little like hiccup in between the all and the me.
Okay.
Just enough where it sounded like the air had not fully just connected those two notes. Oh, I know it. I know it. Sorry. It's funny. I don't know why it didn't happen with the first one, but maybe I'm just hearing you better now all of a sudden. But on your me, to add something to it, see if you can do a very gentle connection for the M consonant. Almost in like a pouty M place where you put your M on the inner side of the bottom lip, like where lipstick doesn't stick. So it's a very light connection, almost barely, no pressure at all. So it's just super light, but very legato.
Okay.
Yeah, how did that M feel?
Better. Yes, I think it was creating a disconnect. A little pressing it down.
You feel like doing it one more time and then adding all those M's to the la la almen mori also?
Yes.
Good, go ahead. Good, good. So keep that inner smile as you go up, and just keep that airflow, and always just think as those pitches go up, everything can kind of go up naturally. The larynx does have to move. It's not like it's going to go way up. It's just going to be a natural sort of feeling. Oh, mi, very fast L, la, so that we're not belaboring the L, because again, that's a very sticky consonant. La Shalmen Mari, right? And again with that, ha, 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 ha. I know it's a sad aria. It can all be put together, promise. Better, better. How did that feel as you were going up?
Yeah, I felt like my consonants weren't kind of like pulling me down a little bit, but when I get up to that A flat, is it? Yeah, the A flat, I feel like I'm not really finessing it.
Okay.
I'm trying to, and then I'm like, am I doing this right? And then it just kind of doesn't come across at all.
Sure, I understand. Well, and it's tricky, and of course, you know, it's so it's such a vulnerable, it's such a vulnerable aria. La Shalmen. Make sure as you head to the Almen, again, that E vowel isn't pulling you down or back. La Shalmen. See if you can get it a little more forward. Almen mo, and think morir. Like really, all of those quite frontal and quite, you know, quite simple and narrow as you go up, so that once you get to the top, you can kind of bloom there rather than having to take a wide thing up.
Okay.
Yeah, because you did really well, and I could see it. Oh, me, you're kind of like an exaggeration. Oh, me, la shalman. So it's like it was going up very well, and then you kind of just like took a little like that. But it was so itty bitty. Yeah.
Okay.
How'd that feel?
Yeah, that felt better. Having a little bit more of a compact or organized space was helpful.
Yeah, I mean, your vowels were more frontal, which it just helped you kind of go up in the same column, you know, very simply. And I think as you do it, if you want to try it again, as you go up to it's sort of, I mean, who knows, some other, whoever actually sings this, because obviously I don't, they might be like, no, it has to be an E, or it has to be an on. I just kind of want you to have fun, because this is a place for experimentation. It's not a performance, right? So try for now as you sing mora, like mora, to see how you feel up there.
Okay.
Going mora, and maybe we'll hear it as an E. You know, if your intention behind it is that E.
Okay.
How that feels. How did that feel?
It felt good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. The beginning of the note fun. So of course, it cut out the minute you hit the A flat. But I could tell by the way your face was. I could tell because I heard the beginning of the note, so I could tell where you were. So I think it was probably very fantastic. But as long as it felt good, yes.
Yes, it did.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I was like, oh, I lost you again. Okay. Good. I'm just gonna stop the recording now for now. But as long as that feels great, that's really wonderful. Really, really wonderful. So I'm so appreciative of you letting me be so like